Hi everybody, welcome to September's Tea Club. So it's back to school. I'm Shona and we are going back to school, but not really, because it's actually the season for Halloween. So we have some lovely autumn teas and a few spooky ones in there as well. So our Tea Club boxes, what are they all about? So we have 3 boxes. We have the Flavour Explorer box, which is great for those people who want to try something a little bit adventurous. If you are used to having black tea with milk and you want to try something different, Bird and Blend is the perfect place to start that journey, exploring different flavour combinations. So the gourmet box will be great for those people who like a really traditional tea, you know, the sort of tea like an Earl Grey or a classic English breakfast tea. And then the third one is for those people who love caffeine-free teas, and those ones include fruit teas and herbal teas, as well as caffeine-free like rooibos. So yeah, without further ado, let's have a look in. Yeah. So let's start off with our all-time hero tea, which is our spiced pumpkin pie tea. So this is in the Flavour Explorer box and in the gourmet box this season for September, and it really is delicious. So we're going to try it in the same way that we do it in the store, in a latte form. So here it is here. So this is spiced pumpkin pie. And it contains little sprinkles in, which you can see, pumpkin and bat inside there, but it also has carrot in there, which is kind of a like substitute for pumpkin, but it tastes amazing, and it's a lovely Sri Lankan chai tea. So we're going to make it in a latte. So how do we do that? So we are going to pop 3 teaspoons of the tea in here, and then we're going to add the water and leave that in there to brew for 4 minutes and let that brew. So what we've done here is we're brewing a small amount of tea, but very strong tea. So we call this a concentrate in the stores, and you can make this at home. You just make a very strong tea, and then when we add it to the milk, it will make it into a delicious latte. So it's a bit like an espresso shot. So let's talk through the other 2 while that's brewing. So we have 2 brand spanking new autumn teas. The first one is the rose cardamom chai, which is here, which is absolutely gorgeous. I love cardamom and I love rose. And those 2 combined with our lovely Sri Lankan with a bit of ginger and fennel is absolutely delicious, and really delicious as a black tea, I would say, but also iced. Why not? Especially if we're having a sort of Indian summer, there's nothing like a lovely Indian chai for the autumn. Now, the good thing about the rose cardamom and chai is the rose and the cardamom are both used in traditionally used in Indian sweets. So it's kind of got that lovely kind of after dinner taste, which is really good. And then another one, which I think would also be nice as an after dinner, or if you've eaten a few too many sweets, is our delicious buttermint tea. And this is gorgeous. And honestly, when I first tried this, I was like, oh, love it. And we have quite a few fans in the warehouse, and I know that some of the stores, the teams have been sneaking tastes of it before we launch it, and they've all been feeding back how lovely it is. It has apple pieces in, fenugreek, and it's gorgeous. Okay, so our tea has now brewed and we are ready to pop it into our mug. So there we go. We're using our lovely Brudini as always, and that's gone straight in there like that. And then with my hot milk, which we prepared earlier in true Lupita style, I'm just going to froth it up with our lovely Era Latte, which we sell on our website. And I have to say, since I've got one of these, I've discovered it's totally changed my life. So I'm just brewing that up to get it nice and foamy. Look at that. And you can see all that froth. Look at that. So we're going to pour that into our mug. And we get all that lovely froth on top. And we are going to add a little bit of cinnamon on top of that. But if you've got nutmeg, or if you prefer that, it's up to you. And There we go. Look at that, amazing. So let's give that one. Shall I do that? Look at that. It's autumn in a cup, isn't it? It's delicious. So just to recap then on how we made our delicious spiced pumpkin pie latte. So we did concentrate in our brewdini with 3 spoonfuls of the tea. About there, we put the hot water to make it really nice and strong. And then when we brewed that for 4 minutes, we added it to our mug. And then we brewed up, or rather we had our hot milk and we frothed that up and then added it there. You could add a little bit of honey if you want something a bit sweeter. And then I topped it off with some cinnamon on the top. There you go. Okay, so we're now moving on to our gourmet box, which is for the traditional tea drinkers. So you're lucky, you get the spiced pumpkin pie tea, which is obviously a lovely traditional chai really. And this year, if you're interested and you love it, we are going to be doing a lovely spiced pumpkin pie tin, which is fabulous, that was designed by Rosie, which is really, really cool. So there's that to look forward to. Also inside this month's box is Earl Grey, which is delicious, with a hint of vanilla, a beautiful classic Earl Grey, and one of our best-selling teas. So that's 2 black teas, and the third black tea, which is a Sri Lankan I mentioned earlier, is the rose cardamom chai. Oh, so lovely. So I'm going to create a hot tea with the rose cardamom chai, and let's make that up just as a traditional tea, I think. So I think it'll be delicious, but you could have it iced as well. So I'm just going to pop 1 of our perfect teaspoons in here, and then I'm going to get my hot water, and I'm going to fill it right up to the Bird and Blend logo. There we go. And I'm going to let that brew for 3 to 4 minutes, depending on how strong I like it. I like it quite strong. Okay, so our lovely rose cardamom chai has now brewed. So I'm going to get my brewdini again. We use this so many times, and they go in the dishwasher, so you can get a lot of use out of these brewdinis. They're very robust. And you can see the fennel seeds actually as we brew it. I can see fennel in there and ginger and the rose petals. So it's a delicious tea. Let's try that. Oh, that's so good. Okay, so the final box for September is our caffeine-free box, and we've got 3 delicious teas for you. The blueberry and peach, which is one of our firm favourites all year round, but especially in the summer and towards the autumn, like Indian summer. And then we have baby spice and the buttermint. So I'm going to make cold brews because I just love a cold brew, and I feel like it is a kind of Indian summer. So let's try that out first. So blueberry and peach, I'm going to cold brew in coconut milk. So let's try it. So blueberry and peach was brought out originally as part of a peach campaign we did, where we brought out quite a few peach teas, and this one was like a firm favourite and stayed. So I'm going to put 4 to 6 teaspoons of the blueberry and peach tea in here. Now these cold brew bottles are incredible. So we've got 4 spoonfuls, and now I'm going to put in just 2 for luck. And then this one tastes really good if you cold brew it with coconut milk. So you can cold brew it just with water, it will be delicious. And that's a nice simple way of making up your tea in an easy fashion. But I'm going to put coconut milk in this, and I'm going to leave a bit of space for some ice, and leave it like that. And that is how we do it. And then what I'll do is I'll pop that in the fridge, and if I did it at night, in the morning it would be ready to go and be great for breakfast actually. But today I'm going to just leave it there, and it will be ready in a few hours time. So 4 hours. So I'd probably leave it for about 4 hours. Okay, so that's one, and now I'm going to do one more. So I'm going to do baby spice. Now, baby spice was introduced in 2018 as a caffeine-free option when spiced pumpkin pies during Halloween, so that we had something that the children or kids could try and enjoy, seeing as it's such a lovely time of year for that, but also for anyone who likes a caffeine-free tea. So I'm going to do the same again. I pop my tea in here. It's delicious, and this one actually does have real pumpkin in it. And I remember when it first came out, I can smell the cloves and I can see the little sprinkles again with the pumpkins. And I don't know how many I put in. Let's just do one more for luck. And I can see safflower as well, which is really good. And then I'm going to add apple juice to this one. Now this was something, well, it's trick or treat, isn't it? So apples and apple bobbing and Halloween, it's kind of all goes with the theme. So I'm going to add that in here all the way, and I'm going to add a bit of water as well, just because that will make it, I don't really want it to taste too appley. I want it to have a bit of, there we go, and leave some space for some ice. And again, the same again, I can put that in my fridge door overnight, or I can leave it for 4 hours. And that, in its lovely pink cold brew, is baby spice. So I'm going to brew that up, and while we're waiting for that, let's talk about buttermint. So buttermint, I would do this one as a cold brew as well. I think would be nice in water, has apple in it. And it also has, I'm right in thinking, fenugreek, which I think I've talked to you about before, because it's got that kind of caramelly taste. It's often used in curries, but we use fenugreek in quite a few of our sweeter teas, and it really does give that kind of creamy taste. And I don't know, we were talking earlier about how creamy this is. It really is a bit like a Murray mint or something. It's buttermint, but really nice, humbuggy kind of taste, delicious. So that's the 3 subscription boxes this month. Can't wait to try these 2, really delicious. This one has got a very nice sort of like, I don't know, it reminds me of a Frutella, but you're probably all too young to remember Frutellas, but it does remind me of that. And the baby spice as well will be great. So we've enjoyed a lot of delicious teas here today. Very excited that we're getting towards the spooky season, and I just want to give you a little sneaky peek of our countdown calendar, which contains 75% more tea than last year, I've been told. So really great gift, and I'm not really allowed to tell you what it contains, but I'm sure it contains some of the teas we featured today. So yes, I can't wait to see you next month in October, when we're in full Halloween mode, and probably doing a few sneaks for maybe Christmas and holiday time, who knows. So I'll see you again next time.